All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Ebony again, a.k.a. Fit Mom Diva of Simplicity Health Style, and today we have Miss Annette with us. How are you, Annette?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to speak with us. You guys, she's all the way in Japan. We're on totally different time zones right now, and she
Yeah.
decided that she would take time out of her day to share some jewels with us. So, Annette, share a
Yes.
little bit about you. Share a motivational quote that really inspires you and encourages you. Oh, and before she shares her quote, just want to let you guys know for appreciation for sticking around to the end, you'll have an opportunity to earn a complimentary gift. So definitely stick around and let's see what she wants to share with us. But Annette, just start us off by sharing a motivational quote, just something that inspires you, something that encourages you, just so that we can get to know a little bit more about you.
A quote that inspires me is, "You have no idea how strong you are until you don't have a choice but to be strong." That really helps me and motivate me to get through some very difficult times in my life. So,
Yeah, and I think that also once you're able to go through a particular situation, you realize how much strength you actually have. And I know
yes.
that, in my life, there were certain situations where I'm like, man, how am I ever going to get through this? And at the end of the day, I was still able to get through it. It took a little bit of time and a little bit of, making my schedule a little different. But in the end, it still occurred. So it just shows you how much strength you actually have to be persistent and get through certain things. Can you talk a little bit about that in your own life? Talk about a situation where you didn't necessarily see the light at the end of the tunnel and you overcame some obstacles and some unforeseen circumstances, but at the end of the day, you were able to see that goal or that dream to fruition.
Well, actually, I lost a daughter in 2011, and it was the most difficult experience of my entire life. I went through a very serious, very deep depression. Um, and I really, really, really struggled to reconnect to my faith and reconnect to my friends and my family. I kind of felt like I really, really lost myself in grief. And it was what someone told me was that it was an unnatural grief. It was very, very deep. It was very consuming,
Yeah.
consumed my entire life. But what I was thankful that I did. I had a mother who she was a praying mama. I'm thankful to have a praying mama and a praying grandmama, aunties, uncles, and friends who prayed me through my very difficult situation. My mom was able to see for me what I couldn't see for myself. She was able to see me laughing and being happy and moving on with my life. And it's just, I felt like I couldn't do my daughter's life justice by wallowing in it. And it was important to get on with my life. I had another child I had to help, had to raise. I had people who depended on me. So I had to, I went through counseling. At first, I was a little embarrassed by it. You know how in our community, it's difficult to say, I need help. They always say, just be strong. You got to be strong. But it's difficult. You can't just be strong. You need help. It's natural. It's natural to be to go through things and feel like you're lost and to break down. And it's okay to be broken for a little while, as long as you know that you have to come back, you have to bounce back, you have to be stronger than you were before. Everything that we go through builds us up for the next challenge. So now I feel like if I can survive that, I can survive anything.
Yeah. How old was your daughter?
She was actually stillborn. 2 days before my due date, she passed away.
Wow.
39, 5 days. So yeah.
Yeah, that I've had two children of my own, and I know that the entire pregnancy it just takes a whole lot out of you. So for that to
Yeah.
happen 2 days before your due date, you definitely feel like they're a part of you, and it feels, I'm
Yeah.
sure, just as much as it would feel if it was your 5-year-old child or any age child, because it's been a
Yeah.
part of you for so many months. I'm glad that
Yeah.
you were able to have a lot of support and that you had your mother that was praying for you. And a lot of times we don't necessarily feel like we have a lot of support around us,
Yeah.
and particularly when it comes to achieving our dreams. And it's not that we don't always have support, we don't necessarily have a large enough network to be able to find people in every single moment that we need support. Sometimes it's important to understand how to be your own cheerleader because not everybody's always going to be available. We all know that. But being able to find people that are positive, like-minded people that really want to help you and that are trustworthy, I think is so key because it does help us to get through a lot of situations that we wouldn't necessarily be able to get through on our own. Can you talk a little bit about how people can gain support when they feel like they don't have a lot of support in their world?
I know personally, what I've done is connect with the online community, join a lot of Facebook groups and chat through Instagram and whatnot. But to help me get through losing my daughter and also to motivate me to complete my degree, I joined a group on Facebook for moms who were students and for moms who had lost children. And we would just talk about our personal struggles and we would encourage one another. Sometimes, like you said, you don't have anybody who is in your family that you connect to right then and right there. So you may have to go out and seek other people who are looking for the same things that you were looking for. So you kind of have, you build a connection around that and you just kind of push each other through. And we would share everything in these groups. We would talk about studying with children. We would talk about how difficult it is. Because for me, finishing my degree, it was a molehill. The sun was a mountain for me. But I climbed it and I'm ready, to climb the next one. But that was what I had to do, was to just kind of reach out, because then I didn't really have people in my personal life who were going through the same things that I was going through. So I just had to kind of find people who were, and I'm so thankful that I did, because those women really, really pushed me forward and encouraged me. And we just kind of did the same thing for each other, and we just built each other up continuously. I still talk to these women regularly. So
yeah. And the online community is definitely not going anywhere anytime soon, right?
Right.
Even if certain social media platforms went away, it's still going to be online communities. And sometimes you can use the internet to be able to find local communities that can help you. I know that, for a lot of people, they like to, be in close proximity to other human beings. So they prefer to connect, in real time in the real world. And they don't necessarily have those people that can support them in a particular area in their immediate circle of family or friends. But if you really search, a lot of times you can find support groups right there in your own city. You're just not aware of them all the time. So using the internet to find some of those local community groups is very key. In my area, there are so many different meetup groups on various topics that unless I searched for it online, I would have never known it existed, because I'm just not exposed to every community in the city. Most people, what do? You hang with your family or your friends, you go to work, you go to, if you're a spiritual person, you go to your religious institution, and you don't go to a whole lot of different places, where you're able to meet a variety of people. So utilizing the internet space to find some of those particular areas that are in a specific area that you're struggling with is key. And then online groups in different social media platforms is particularly helpful, especially if it's a very engaged and interactive group. You'll get a lot of feedback from perfect strangers that you would have never met if it wasn't for the online space. Like us, we met online. I would have never met you all the way in Japan if it weren't for the online space, right? So, taking full advantage of that, I think, is very key in our development.
Could you hold on 1 second, please?
Yes, I can hold on. Go ahead.
My son is screaming his head off. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead. No problem. I can wait for you.
Thank you.
You guys, while we're waiting, I wanted to let you know too that if you want to share your experiences and you feel like it can empower other ladies around the world, please feel free to connect with me. You're going to see in the description box that I have a link that is specifically for my Nutrition for Busy Women Facebook group. And then I also have my email address as well. So if you're not active on Facebook and you still want to be able to connect with me, please feel free to do so. I'm always, always, always looking for women, no matter where you are. She's all the way in Japan. No matter where you are in this world, to connect with me. That way we can talk a little bit about our challenges, talk a little bit about our experiences. And you just never know. You just never know what comes of that relationship by, putting yourself out there. So if you want to connect with me, all of my info is in the description box, and all of Annette's info is in the description box as well. One of the things that I always offer to people that connect with me is an assessment tool, so that you can learn a little bit about your gifts and learn a little bit about your strengths and your talents and how to merge that with your professional background and with your educational experience. That way you're able to still serve others in a way that feels good to you and have a baseline. Sometimes people are, hi Annette, I'm just telling them a little bit about how to connect with us and how to earn the complimentary gift I was talking about. Sometimes people feel like they're very successful in their career, but they might not necessarily be fulfilled in that career. So I'm trained in career counseling to be able to determine if this is a good fit for you or if there's somewhere else that you might want to be. So we'll talk a little bit about that as you get to know me a little bit better. But if you want to know me more intimately, as I said, join my Nutrition for Busy Women Facebook group. We're not just talking about nutrition for just the body from a physical standpoint. We're also talking about it from a body, a mind and soul perspective as well. So when you're looking at how can I serve people at the best of my ability, what you also want to look at is how do you provide yourself with the self-care that's needed in order to have the energy and the vitality to do so. So Annette, that's our next question. Can you talk a little bit about some self-care strategies and techniques that you've used to be able to regain a sense of meaning and to be able to center yourself? And if you like, you can even talk about some of your challenges in that area. More of us are challenged in that area than not. We're busy with school, we're busy with work, we're busy with taking care of the family. As they just saw, you had to get up and take care of your son. Children don't turn off. They do their own thing. So particularly for ladies that are listening that have children, you know that it could be very very difficult sometimes to be able to find that time for yourself. So talk a little bit about your challenges and maybe some strategies that you've used that were helpful to you.
It's very, very difficult to find some time and space for myself because I'm here in a foreign country with my husband. I follow my husband all over the world. He's in the military. And we don't have any family here. And so it's hard to, trust you can't just trust anybody with your kids. So a lot of things that I do end up doing them with my kids. But what I found that helps centers myself is just, I take some time, I get my nails done sometimes. And a lot of times I'll just go, I tell my husband, hey, I need a mental health break. I'm the only woman in this house. 3 boys, a husband, even the 2 pet turtles are boys. So I'm just surrounded by testosterone constantly. So I need to take some time for myself. I'll tell my husband, I'll say, hey, I'm taking a mental health break. And I'll go in the back and I'll read or I'll write in my journal. Or I started a course on alcohol and substance abuse counseling. I do that for myself. Even going back to school and getting my degree, I did that for myself. So you just kind of have to put yourself first a lot of times, because if you're not there for yourself, you really can't be there for anybody else. You can't be your whole full self if you're fractured. And if you're falling apart, you gotta find a way to reconnect to yourself. And that's what I do personally. And I also I joined a sorority here, a graduate chapter sorority, and that was for myself as well. I wanted to connect with other like-minded, service-oriented women. And so I do a lot with them. We do a lot of service projects. We have our meetings and we do a lot just together. We'll go out to dinner or we'll just maybe have a movie night or just hang out together. And it was necessary for me to maintain my sanity just being around men all the time. I love my sons. I love my husband. But I just, mama needs some peace. Mom needs to be away.
Yeah, and that is so true. You can't very well be the best person to everybody else when you're feeling rugged, you know.
Yes.
So sometimes I will just go and, sit by myself, go drive by myself,
Yeah.
just do something for myself only that I just feel like, wow, after I'm finished with that activity, I feel like I'm just on top of the world. I feel such a sense of, clarity and refreshed.
Yeah.
I know that when I'm stressed, when I'm dragged down, when I'm not as focused, I am not the best person to anybody around me. And all it's going to do is cause a ripple effect across the world where you're like, you treat one person like crap and then they treat the next person like crap. They treat the next person like crap. Everybody crappy together. But it stems from us not being able to take better care of ourselves.
Yeah.
So the more of us can find the time in our day to take care of ourselves and not feel guilty about it, the better we'll all feel.
Yeah.
We all know that when you're around people that bring out the sunshine and you tend to feel better, right? When you're around people that are moping and complaining, does that make you feel great? No, not necessarily. So yes, taking time for ourselves in whatever way that you want to do it is so vital, and it really can look different for everybody. I've had people talk about how they will literally just look at four walls. I've had people talk about how they like to garden. Other people talk about how they like to go for long walks. Some people like to spend hours in the gym. Some people like to go get their hair, nails done, petty. It's different for everybody. It's just, what do you find enjoyable? So yes, ladies that are listening, always remember to make sure that you use the time that you can for yourself, and don't feel guilty if one day you can't do it either. Just put it into your life as often as possible and it'll accumulate over time. And thank you so much. And for those of you that are listening, remember I said that you can connect with me and earn a complimentary gift to help you in determining what your true gifts are and how you can serve this world using those gifts. And if you need assistance in the area of self-care and a life full of simplicity, reach out to me as well, because over the last 10 years, I've looked at different ways that I can simplify the things going on in my life. Because when you're very busy, go all the time, it really takes away from the time that you can self-reflect, so that you can get to understand yourself better and know how to add your gifts to the world. So being able to learn how to prioritize your time and simplify what's going on in your life, whether that's people, things, environment, whatever, oh my gosh, through experience, I can tell you that you just live a totally different life where your stress level can easily go from being a 10 to a 2 or a 3. So it's so vital in order for us to feel like we're living a more meaningful life. Thank you, Annette. Do you have any last words of encouragement that you can give to ladies that are listening?
Go for it. Go for it. That's just do it. Even if you're afraid, go for it. Fight through your fear. Fight through your sadness, and just be and enjoy the journey.
Thank you. So everybody, go for it, fight through your fear, and be the best person that you can be. I think that too many times will that fear hold us back from realizing our dreams. So just being able to say, I can do this and I will go for it is so vital. And always remember that it's not something that needs to be done overnight either. Most of my most successful plans have been ones where I made baby steps toward them and didn't necessarily rush through the process. And sometimes it took a couple of years for me to get from point A to point Z, but I was continuing to make forward momentum. So that's what's important, being able to continue to make forward momentum. And don't be apologetic for how slow you're going either.
Yeah.
As long as you get to the end zone, it doesn't really matter how fast you got there sometimes. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Wherever you ladies are in the world, I hope that you have an awesome rest of the day. And remember to share this content out with people that you believe it could benefit. But most of all, no matter where you are in the world, remember to live a life full of meaning and purpose. I'll connect with you guys in our next episode. Talk to you soon.
Bye.